Why did you come here?
I work with my uncle.
You scared of him?
Oh, he's the nicest man in the world.
The Osage, their time is over. We got to take back control of our home.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
We have so many deaths we've lost count.
It's just bad luck.
Seems more like an epidemic than bad luck to me.
Osage is dying by the enemy. Do not let them die alone.
Evil surrounds my heart.
We interrupt this program to bring you...
All right, everybody, my name is Kevin from The Real Movie Guys, and you're watching The Real Review, the series where we review and discuss all your favorite movies. On today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at Killers of the Flower Moon. When oil is discovered in 1920s Oklahoma under Osage Nation land, the Osage people are murdered one by one until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. Okay, guys, it's another year, another Scorsese film comes out, and what'd you know? It's phenomenal, okay? I think that really should come to no surprise at this point. Scorsese is one of those directors that when he comes out with something, he rarely ever misses. But I will say that this movie, maybe some more than I think some of his other pieces that have come out, especially like The Irishman and such, I really enjoyed this movie. The message here is incredibly strong. You can tell, and I know Scorsese himself has said multiple times that this was a passion project for him. But yeah, the story of the Osage people and the crimes that were committed against them and how, you know, the Americans, how we treated them. I think this is a story that needs to be told, and it's a sad film. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how much of a fun time you're going to have at the movies, but this is a very well executed cinematic masterpiece. Even if there are a couple things here and there I think I would have tweaked just to maybe make this open to a bit of a more casual viewer. But before I jump into all that, let's talk a few bits about the performances here. Leonardo DiCaprio here is definitely in his high game. I thought about this when I was watching the movie, but this is the first time I really remember Leo kind of being a scummy kind of character. He's very not well educated, kind of slimy, kind of gross, and that's hard when you have Leonardo DiCaprio, especially as him as a person, just to pull off, because we so associate him with being such a suave and cool character. But to see him able to kind of work the character of Ernest Burkhart and mold it into this slimy skis bag that you kind of feel bad about. Leo did a phenomenal job, transformative, if you will. I think this was really a standout performance for him. Not to say that Lily Gladstone, who's a new actress to the scene here, playing Molly Burkhart, she's phenomenal in this movie. And it's hard to believe this is one of her, if not one of her first roles she's acted in. She's a standout, guys. She's someone to keep an eye out for, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of award nod coming her way. She really portrays the powerful Osage women and the turmoil that she goes through and how she stands strong and her reactions to the things happening, to losing the people around her. And, you know, as the story continues on, again, even just her working off Leo, there's some really phenomenal scene work done here. And of course, not to be outdone, you do have Robert De Niro come in playing Ernest's uncle, William Hale, who's kind of the overseer of the Osage land. He's kind of like the go-to friend of the people. It's Robert De Niro. I mean, the man at his age is still turning in a performance like this. I hope I can walk at his age, okay? Because he's killing it. He's really killing it. The three of them really just are such powerhouse actors in this movie. And it should be no surprise. Scorsese knows what he's looking for when he casts actors. And he knows how his movie's going to be carried. Again, I think a lot of the things that Scorsese does here, they're to the benefit of this movie. He really tries to tell the story in the best possible way. He really steals a lot of time with Ernest and kind of his turmoil going back and forth. And again, the way he crafts the story, I think there's going to be a couple misconceptions maybe going into this movie. Some people might have thought this was a mystery. It's definitely not a mystery. I think the story of what's going on is kind of told pretty early on. So I feel like that could leave some people disappointed, kind of waiting for like, who done it or who did this? No, you're kind of thrown early on, which, you know, it depends on who you are. If you are okay with knowing the plot, then the rest of the movie has to be interesting. And I think Scorsese does a good job with that. Even if he does outstay his welcome a little bit with some of the, I know he wanted to capture maybe some of the like rituals of those Osage people and some of the more symbolic scenes, if you will. He had a lot of flowery scenes or just long shots of things, and I don't know how much they really added to the movie. I understand their importance and how they are important to the people, but as far as the plot, this movie is quite long. It's a 3 hour and 26 endeavor if you're able to make it. It's probably easier now that it'll probably be released. I believe it's digital today, coming soon to Apple Plus. I watched it in theaters and it was a bit of a slog, and you do feel the pacing at times. I mean, I was very interested in the story, but sometimes without a hook as to what the mystery is, it can leave you a little bit wanting in some respects here. Because again, you know what's kind of happening. It's just how we're going to get to the end and how everything's going to be resolved, which again, I think Scorsese leaves enough on the hook, but he kind of just filters out the plot. So I'm not too sure. I'm kind of split on how I feel about it, because again, I respect him as a director for what he was trying to do here, because the cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. Again, if you've seen a Scorsese movie, I feel like I'm just retreading things that everyone kind of knows. The man knows how to shoot a camera. He has some brilliant, beautiful landscape shots, and when the emotions really come deep, he relies on the actors and he relies on the camera work to cut that across, and it does come through here. I think it's really good. It's just a matter of the pacing, and I think the pacing is probably this movie's biggest downfall. I know, Scorsese has said a lot of things about superhero movies and, the culture of cinema as it was. But ironically, I feel like this movie maybe would have been better served as some kind of like mini series of some kind, because we're approaching such a long length. I mean, 3.5 hours is just a very long time to be in a movie. Not to say that movies can't be long and we can't enjoy them at that length, but you have to make sure that your story continues on, because even though I feel like they do cover a lot, once we get towards the end and the FBI kind of gets involved, that's where this movie kind of takes a twist with persecuting the evildoers that are happening in this movie. It goes relatively quick, and I kind of wish I had more information on that, because that left a little bit to be desired there. Like, it kind of just felt like it wrapped itself up relatively quick, when the whole beginning of the movie, I felt like we were kind of treading water at spots, and maybe a reorganization could have helped the movie just a little bit. But again, this isn't a bad movie. I don't want that to come across this way. Because again, you could tell Scorsese this is a passion project for him. Even if you stay for the end of this movie, Scorsese actually inserts himself into the movie to deliver a poignant message, which I was very surprised to see him actually star in this movie and give that message at the end. And it's just really sad. It's a really sad story. Unfortunately, it's a story that people need to be alerted to and we need to speak about. But again, it's just a very, very powerful movie with some amazing performances. So that all being said, I think I'm going to put a score on this one, guys. I'm going to give Killers of the Flower Moon a 9 out of 10.
What
was that?
That's how you are.
I don't know what you said, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil.
I couldn't give it any lower, guys, even if I really wanted to, even if the pacing is a bit slow, if there's just some things maybe I felt personally could have been reorganized. It's a phenomenally acted and shot movie. It's just very, very long, and I think depending on who it is, if you're a casual moviegoer or a normal moviegoer, I think it's going to hit both parties. I think it's just a little bit too long, and maybe just, again, some reorganization I think would have significantly helped the movie. But without all that being said, this is a powerhouse, all right? The actors are great. Cinematography is great. Hell, even the score is great, from the native chants to some of the Scorsese, kind of instrumentals he likes to fine tune into here. I think it really does work. But what I want to know, guys, in the comments below, what did you think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Is it one of your favorite Scorsese movies? Is there something that you would have done maybe to have changed the movie? Would you have trimmed a few things, added a few things? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments down below. But thank you guys all so much for joining us for this episode of The Real Review. My name is Kevin from The Real Movie Guys. We'll catch you next time.
If you guys like what you've seen here today, consider giving this video a like and leaving your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date with everything Real Movie Guys related, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget, all you audio listeners at home, we are available on many podcasting platforms. Just search The Real Movie Guys, you should pop right up. Thank you again all so much for joining us on this episode of The Real Review. We are The Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. Catch you next time.